hints to events, okay? And you got to remember, President Biden has been doing all of the hinting since the Obama campaign took the presidency. In the beginning of the campaign, when they first were awarded the seat of the President of the United States, Obama clearly stated, okay, or I'm sorry, not Obama, Joe Biden clearly stated that this was going to be a train-friendly administration. That's kind of like rubbing it in your face right there without giving it away, don't you think? He also stated that this administration was going to be tested in an extreme manner, and I am pretty sure he was referring to the events that we're about to face. So anyways, having said that and showed you these pictures, I'd like to take you to some articles that I've been reading here as of lately. And with these articles, I'm going to show you the new proof. First off, animal deaths are still being reported across the world. Okay? We've got Beijing, China, reporting all kinds of dead birds. And you know, in the article it says that it says that they've died of starvation and unfavorable weather conditions. I think that's BS, and I'm going to call them on it. They're twisting. You know, all around the world, there's a different reason for every group of animals that dies. Okay? That's called disinformation from the media. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that the hundreds of thousands of animals that have died are dying for one reason. I mean, when it's all at the same time, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. So, we move on to all these fish dying, fish kills. They say, well, these guys were trapped in the ice, and that's why they've died. Once again, they're coming off with a BS reason as to why the animals are dying, and they're feeding it to the public. That's BS, folks. Don't pay attention to that. It's not true. They're filling your heads full of lies, okay? Now we're going to move on to, let's see what we have here. Okay, now, for those of you that don't believe in chemtrailing, which they've done here today, chemtrailing and geoengineering and weather modification, I want to show you this website called Weather Modification Incorporated. And I'm going to show you a list of all of the countries and states that are involved in this. Okay? Look at all these countries. Okay? These are all names that would throw off the normal person, but when you know about chemtrailing, you know this is just a cover. These are just covers. Look at all of them in the United States. Most of these countries just have one or two facilities, but look how many the United States has. Okay? Look at the names of these facilities, all right? Nevada State Cloud Seeding Program, North Dakota Cloud Modification Project, okay? New Mexico BLAST, which is an acronym for Burst Light and Stratus Transmission Project, okay? I mean, it could go on and on, all right? Oklahoma Weather Modification Project. It goes on and on. Illinois Weather Modification Projects. Gradient Weather Modification Projects. And this stuff just, it goes on and on. Stanislaus Weather Modification Program. State of South Dakota, Department of Natural Resources, Division of Weather Modification. Texas Central High Plains Rainfall Enhancement Program. I mean, like I said, the list goes on and on. So they cannot deny that weather modification is taking place, because here it is in black and white for all of you to see. Okay? So I just wanted to get that out the way, because this morning I woke up and the clouds were so thick with chemtrails. The sky was so thick, and it appeared that the sun, didn't rise at its normal time. It seemed like it lingered for about 15 or 20 minutes longer than it should have. Now, I'm sure that's probably not the case, and I might be off, but I can guarantee you that the sun did not come up at its normal time. I get up every morning at 6 o'clock to go to work, so I know what it looks like when the sun comes up, and I know about what time it gets to be light out. Well, this morning that wasn't the case. It was so thick and nasty out as well this morning with chemtrails that the moon was just a speck of light behind these thick, nasty, soupy-looking chemtrail clouds. So they're spraying this stuff up there for a reason, and I wonder if it's not only, I wonder if it's for multi-purposes, like to support the weather modification programs, also to support the HARP program, because it does release chemicals that help to electrify the atmosphere. And I also wonder if at the same time they hide things from us so that we can't see, or so that it throws us off, such as the position of the sun, the moon, things of that nature. Well, guess what, folks? The sun made an appearance in Alaska a couple of days ago for 12 minutes, a couple of days before it's supposed to appear. In Greenland, the sun came up 2 days earlier than it was supposed to. I'm hearing stories about the moon being off track in the sky. These stories are coming in from around the world, so something very, very big is taking place. Okay, something is happening. It's being covered up. Nobody's talking about it. I feel that it's very odd that even Alex Jones isn't talking about the Earth changes per se, like as far as the sun rising early in places, or the moon being off track. Why is that? I don't know. He's all about making people pissed off and making them think the war's fixing to start. However, he's not talking about the things that are important. And right now, the events of what's happening in the world are very important because it affects us all. It's the planet Earth, folks. It's a global thing. We are all going to be affected. We all need to prepare for what's coming. Now, I still hadn't gotten to the new evidence here that I've got against FEMA, and that helps to support our theory about an intentional earthquake. Now, I'm sure those people out there are going, well, hurry on, get to it. Well, if you're in a situation that requires you to hurry up and get to that information, and you can't spend 10 minutes of your time, or 15 minutes, or even 30 minutes gathering this information to learn something, then you don't need to be here. So, and we'll go ahead and say that. You don't need to be here. Anyhow, moving on, I want to get to how the Gulf of Mexico oil spill is, and this was written summer of last year, okay? And it talks about the new Madrid fault zone, okay? You need to look here, all right? There's a very important aspect of the Gulf of Mexico oil spill crisis that hardly anyone is talking about. You see, it's not just an oil spill that BP has unleashed on the floor of the Gulf of Mexico. What BP has done is that they have uncorked an oil volcano that is violently spewing oil and gas out of the floor of the Gulf of Mexico so violently and with such pressure that it is beyond the capacity of human technology to control it. Well, they said they got it, and that's what the oil cap was for. Remember, this was written the summer of last year, so bear with me. Millions upon millions of gallons of oil have already been pumped into the Gulf of Mexico, and millions upon millions more will continue to be pumped into the Gulf before all of this is over. So could all this violent activity on the floor of the Gulf of Mexico spark seismic activity in the region that could potentially be absolutely catastrophic? Pay attention, folks. Could this oil volcano cause an earthquake along the New Madrid fault line that is so powerful that it could bring about the end of the world as we know it for those living in the area? Those are legitimate questions. And it goes on to talk about this, and I'll leave a link there for all you guys who want to come back and read the full story. But think about it. That was summer of last year, and here we are going through these events now. And I'm absolutely sure that they are that they have something to do with the BP oil spill. And here's another article that's very interesting, and it goes on to talk about, and this